Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. La 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 la. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in the counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlour, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes. And down came a blackbird and pecked off her nose. Well, that was really good. I love the song Sing a Song of Sixpence. But you can learn it really quickly if you do it with gestures. And it doesn't matter if you're in a bed or you're in a chair, you can still do the gestures. Why don't we do the gestures together? Copy me if you please. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. La 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 la. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in the counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlour, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging up the clothes. And down came a blackbird and pecked off her nose. Well, I like doing those gestures. And I like singing the song. But what's the song all about? Let's find out. Sing a song of sixpence. Over there, do you see? There's the person singing the song. Now, I didn't give the person any hair. I didn't want the person to be a boy or a girl or anything else. Just a person singing. And over there, that's a musical note. So if you want to draw anyone singing, draw a musical note. Sing a song of sixpence. There is sixpence. Sixpence is money in the olden days. And if I had a sixpence when I was a boy, I could go into a shop. I could buy a lucky bag. I could buy loads of sweets. I could buy a comic. And I could buy some glue. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye. There we go. There's the pocket. And there's the rye. I wonder if you know what rye is. Now you can make bread with rye, and you can make some nice drinks with rye. But rye is little seeds like wheat. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye, 24 blackbirds. Do you see how I did that? 4 and 20. 4 and 20. Why don't you do 3 and 20? Why don't you do 9 and 20? 4 and 20 is 24. 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Birds, this beautiful bird here, baked in that pie? Who would do that? Who would put birds in a pie? Well, we're going to find out. 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. Hold on a second. 24 birds baked in a pie. The pie goes in the oven. The pie comes out. And they're still alive. Not only are they alive, as you can see, they're singing. 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. La 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 la. I'm glad I'm not in a pie. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? There's the king. There's his crown. The king was in the counting house counting out his money. And my dear friends, some kings, that's all they want to do. They don't care about the people. They don't care about the land. They just care about counting money. I think this king's the same. If anyone puts 24 birds in a pie and bakes him, it's that king. The king was in the counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. I think that's all she does all day. I think she just eats bread and honey. It's not very nice being a queen. You don't have many adventures. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes. Well, look at the clothes. There's a nice dress there. I think that's the queen's dress. I think that's the queen's going out dress. But what's that? It's underpants! The king's underpants! They're massive! If you could turn those underpants into a tent, 6 people could live in those underpants as long as they were clean. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, and down came a blackbird and pecked off her nose. Hold on a second. Let's just go back a bit. What is a maid? A maid is someone who works very, very hard, making beds and mopping floors and doing fires and hanging out the king's underpants. She's not the one who put 24 birds into a pie. It was the king. So I think the blackbirds were a bit wrong to come down and peck off her nose. Well, this is a very strange song. Let's do our gestures again. Sing a song of sixpence, a pocket full of rye. 24 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was open, the birds began to sing. La 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 la. Wasn't that a dainty dish to set before the king? The king was in his counting house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, and down came a blackbird and pecked off her nose. Well, I hope when you sing that, you do the gestures as well.